FC Porto vs Marseille forecast, sneak peek, group news and more vertical bar UEFA Champions League 2020-21 FC Porto host Marseille in the UEFA Champions League at the Estadio do Dragao on Tuesday night. The hosts, recently, notched up their very first win of the group phase this season with a simple 2-0 success over Olympiacos. The Portuguese giants have actually remained an indifferent kind in the league however, with just 10 points from 6 games in the Liga NOS up until now. Marseille, on the other hand, are desperate to keep themselves alive in the group, after losing their very first 2 games, 1-0 to Olympiacos and 3-0 to Manchester City. With Manchester City currently setting themselves up perfectly to complete top of the group, both Marseille and Porto will be trying to find a win in this game. A win here would be huge for Porto, to put themselves in the going to certify for the round of 16, heading into the second half of the group phases. A loss for Marseille might possibly be terminal to their possibilities of certifying from the group. FC Porto vs Marseille head-to-head. Marseille have actually never ever beaten Porto prior to, in 4 competitive clashes in between these two groups. Porto have actually won 3 of those 4 games. These 2 groups were accumulated in the exact same Champions League group in both the 2003-04 and 2007-08 seasons, with the previous being when Porto went on to win the Champions League. The last game in between these 2 remained in November 2007 in Portugal, when the hosts won 2-1. Porto Kind Guide, all competitors, LWWLD. Marseille Type Guide, all competitors, LWLWD. FC Porto vs Marseille Group News. Porto do not truly have actually any reported injury issues yet, ahead of the crunch game versus Marseille. Veteran protector Pepe missed out on Porto's loss to Pacos Ferreira over the weekend due to confusion over a COVID-19 test, however he has actually apparently given that returned an unfavorable test and is offered to play. Injuries, none. Suspension, none. Like the hosts, Marseille are likewise most likely to have an offered and completely in shape team for this match. Injuries, none. Suspension, none. FC Porto vs Marseille predicted 11. Porto predicted 11, 4-3-3, Augustine Marchesine, Ziyech Sanusi, Pepe, Chancel Mbemba, Wissam Manifa, Sergio Oliveira, Mateus Uribe Otavio, Moussa Marega, Jesus Corona, Luis Diaz. Marseille predicted 11, 3-5-2, Steve Mandanda, Leonardo Balerdi, Da Coletta, Alvaro Gonzalez, Hiroki Sakai, Boubacar Kamara, Valentin Rongier, Michael Cousins, Jordan Amavi, Dimitri Payet, Florian Thauvin. FC Porto vs Marseille forecast. Marseille have actually been having a hard time to discover a win in Europe this season, and are having a hard time in Ligue 1 also, with just 4 wins in 8 games there. Although Porto have actually not remained in the very best domestic kind themselves, the self-confidence from recently's win over Olympiacos must do them a world of great. We are anticipating a narrow win for the Portuguese side in this game. Forecast, Porto 1-0 Marseille.